Welcome back. So today I wanted to look at a very interesting stat here that I didn't make a video about this last year. I kind of wanted to, but I kind of just forgot and wanted to make it happen this year. So something interesting that I pay attention to every single year in sprint car racing is drivers that make it over the six-figure mark in earnings, so making it over $100,000. This year, we had 10 drivers make it over that mark for the first time in their careers in a wing sprint car. Now, there's one driver on the board that has made it over 100,000 before in his career, but that was in non-wing sprint cars. For the first time in wing sprint cars, he did it in 2025. Another interesting thing here is last year, 2024, there were 36, let me double check this real quick. I have my laptop right off to the side here. And in 2024, I want to say it was 36 drivers. And yes, that is the case. So 36 drivers last year made it over the $100,000 mark. In 2025, just 1 year later, there is another 10 guys, so it's up to 45 drivers made it over 100 grand. So 9 more drivers than last year made it over 100 grand. So that is a very, very big jump, I feel like. I'd have to look at all the data and things, but I feel like from 1 year to the next, there has never been a 9-driver jump in six-figure earners in one single back-to-back season. It's very, very impressive. And I think that goes to show the health of the sport right now. I think the more teams and drivers that are making 6 figures a year, that just shows how healthy the sport is. I'm not really sure what to attest it to. Is it High Limit of the Outlaws putting out more money, more purses? These drivers are racing more national touring events. Are tracks across the country upping their purses overall? I'm not sure what to pinpoint it on, but it is still very cool to have 10 new guys reach that mark and have 45 total drivers over that mark for the first time in the history of sprint car racing. So we'll start up here at the top, and the driver on this video that made the most money last year, made it over 6 figures for the first time in his career, was Chase Dietz. He made $201,282 in 71 total sprint car races this year. That equated to $2,834 per race, and his previous best earnings-wise was $91,845, and that was in the 2024 season, so just last year. Also for Chase Dietz, he ends up 18th on the overall list. If you took all sprint car drivers from across the country and you put them all together in the earnings, that earnings list, he would be the 18th highest out of anybody else. Now, down to second on this list, and one of just 2 drivers on this video that were national touring competitors in 2025, that was Dason Pursley. He made $182,540, which equates out to $2,401 per race. His previous best in a wing sprint car was $28,575, and that was in 2024 as well. For Dason Pursley, he ran 76 total sprint car races this year, and he ends up 21st on the overall earnings list in 2025. Now, down to the third spot with 69 nice races in 2025 was Austin McCarl at $160,115. That equates out to $2,320 per race for McCarl, and his previous best was $94,325, and that took place just last year as well. So the 3 drivers up here at the top, their best previous years was 1 year ago, and just 1 year later, they are over that 6-figure mark, and they do it by a pretty healthy margin. I mean, 100 grand extra for Dietz, 82,000 over the 100 mark for Pursley, and 60,000 for McCarl. McCarl ends up 26th on the overall earnings sheet in 2025. Now, one of the most interesting stat lines of the year has got to go to Trey Starks, who is on this board at number 4. He had $155,576 in earnings this year in 19 sprint car races this year. Less than 20 sprint car races, and Trey Starks had 155 grand. That equates to $8,118 per race this season for Trey Starks in a 410. His previous best was 2017 at $68,910. Starks ends up 27th on the overall list this year. So that is one of the numbers on this board that sticks out the most to me. Starks, and money per race, he's got to be in the top 3 out of the rest of the entire country at $8,000 per race. And the other cool thing is that 8 years after his previous best earnings year he was able to make it over that $100,000 mark. So Trey Starks, a fantastic year with that Dirt Cup victory. And the guy that finished second to him in the Dirt Cup was Tanner Holmes. He is number 5 on this list with 58 races this year. He earned $135,125. It ended up being $2,329 per race for Tanner Holmes. His previous best was 2 years ago in 2023 at $61,115, and Tanner Holmes would end up 31st out of all drivers in the earnings department this season. Now, number 6 on the list is Troy Wagaman Jr. He was able to go away this year with $119,516, also in 58 races this season. He ends up with $2,060 per race, and his previous best was last year. He was the first driver out of this board at $97,444. So I want to say it was TJ Stutz was 36th overall at 100 grand, and right behind him was Troy Wagaman last year. He did not make it over that 6-figure mark, but he did it in 2025, a career year for Troy Wagaman Jr., and I think we are just scratching the surface with him. I expect to see a national touring win within the next 2 years, maybe even next year for Wagaman. With High Limit and the Outlaws being a thing, these drivers get a lot more opportunities to try and win one of those national touring events. And I think Troy Wagaman Jr. is the next one to take advantage of that being a thing. Down to number 7 on the list, Ryan Smith. He had 56 races this year between the BJD Motorsports number 6 and the Kreitz Racing 69K. He earned $116,904 for a total of $2,087 per race. And his previous best was also back in 2017. So 8 years ago, he took home $94,995. So it had been 8 years for both Ryan Smith and Trey Starks to get to this point, and they both had very, very good seasons, especially Trey Starks, but Ryan Smith, nothing to shake a stick at as well. He had a very good year, ends up 38th overall in earnings for sprint car racing this season. Number 8 on the list, and you're probably going to like this one as well, Ashton Torgerson, 68 races this year, ends up with $110,770. Earnings per race, $1,628, and his previous best was last year. He had $4,750 in earnings last year for Ashton Torgerson. So from 1 year to the next, I want to say Dason Pursley probably has him beat in that department, but Torgerson goes from $4,750 to $110,770 from 1 year to the next. A very interesting number there from Ashton Torgerson. He ends up 41st overall in earnings this year. And then down to number 9, Cy Lynch. 65 races for Cy Lynch this year. He ends the season with $101,545, and that is a total of $1,562 per race. And his previous best was also last season at $83,279 for Cy Lynch. And he is the final driver to get over the 6-figure mark, 44th overall in earnings this year for Cy Lynch. And the final guy on the list, I felt kind of like I had to put him on here because Brady Bacon ends up with $99,745. So he was $255 away from getting over that 6-figure mark. I felt like, come on, I mean, all he had to do was run 5th in a B main with the Outlaws, and he would have been over that mark. So I'm going to put Brady Bacon on the list at number 10. There's an asterisk next to it. I know he's made it before in non-wing, but for the first time in wing, he pretty much got to that mark. 66 races for Brady Bacon this year, and his total per race is $1,511. His previous best overall was 2024 as well at $65,490. But this season, he basically got to the 6-figure mark, and so I put Brady Bacon on the list. And so these 10 drivers, for the first time in their careers, they hit a milestone of earning 6 figures or more in sprint car earnings. So congratulations to them, and hopefully they can all improve upon these numbers for next year. And I don't know, man, it's just great to see all these new names being able to add their names to the club of 6-figure earners. 45 drivers this year able to do that as compared to 36 last season. So, you put sprint car racing on a graph, it looks like to me it's going to the moon, as they say, in the stock market and the crypto world as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would love to hear your guys' opinions and whatnot. Hit like, hit subscribe, and if you want to, hit that notification bell as well so you'll get notified when we put out a new video here on the Rodman Rundown. Appreciate all of your guys' support. We'll talk to you guys again here soon.